Hey guys, on a recent trip to Costco, I couldn't resist, I couldn't help myself. I ended up picking up a few new plants. I was pretty amazed at what Costco is carrying, and I think you guys will be pretty interested in what I was able to get and how much I paid. I'm calling this my rare houseplant haul from Costco. So basically I was able to pick up some hugely popular and desirable houseplants in some really ugly containers. Well, the containers aren't so bad, but the soil mix is completely wrong. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the plants I picked up from Costco a couple of days ago, as well as repotting them using the correct, most beneficial type of soil mix for each individual plant that I picked up, and I'll be repotting them in their new homes. Now, I did wait a couple of days since purchasing these plants from Costco so that I could isolate and spray them for pests because ain't nobody got time for spider mites. Now, with their quarantine over, it's time to pot up these plants in the correct soil mix so that they can grow and flourish. I'm not too sure how many crucial care details I'll be sharing in this video. I really want to focus on the individual plants that I was able to get from Costco and the very specifics of their soil mixes and repotting them. If you are looking for care videos for these plants, I'll be sure to include some links, and in some cases, I think I'm going to need to create some new care videos coming your way soon. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm Tyler, and if you like what you're seeing or you find this video to be useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, or better yet, you can subscribe to my channel. I've recently started vlogging, and I do have a couple of videos up on my channel, so you'll have to check those out. This way I can share a lot more of the behind the scenes, what I'm up to when I'm not filming, my regular YouTube videos, any sort of travel, and all of that kind of thing. So really quickly, some housekeeping. I plan on releasing new vlogs on Mondays, and I'm going to keep my regular schedule of releasing my regular plant videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. If you have any thoughts or comments on any of this, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. It's greatly appreciated. This first plant shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. This is a repeat of one of the first plants I ever did get from Costco. I picked up another fiddle leaf fig. Now, this fiddle leaf fig is definitely far from perfect. Some of these lower leaves have edema, and it's definitely in the wrong type of soil mix. This container isn't the ugliest, but there is no drainage, and I think I can really help out this fiddle leaf fig. I'm not even sure if you can tell, but there's definitely even some mildew on the top of the soil, so lots to improve and figure out. Fiddle leaf figs ideally should have a well-draining and rich soil mix, so let me show you guys what I'm going to use, the different parts right now. All right, so for my fiddle leaf fig soil mix, let me make it right now. I'm going to be using 1 part or 1 scoop of peat moss. You can see that. 1 part of coco coir, and 1 part bark, to 4 parts of this rich soil mix that I picked up from a local nursery. This is a rich indoor potting mix, and if you're interested in the details of what's in this, I will have that in the description down below. So it's 4 parts of this. All right, there we go. All right, so this is what it looks like all mixed up, and I'm going to be using obviously these pots here. These are beautiful terracotta pots. They have drainage at the bottom, so I'm going to just put a little layer of horticultural charcoal. Let me grab some now. Just at the base of this pot or planter, and then I'm going to include the fiddle leaf fig, obviously, and my soil mix. I just need to get rid of that nasty soil that's in there now. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on in here. So, not bad. The roots look, you know, decent. Just some weird mildew at the top, like I said. So, I'm just gonna try to break this up a little bit, get rid of some of this topsoil, and break the roots up a bit before putting it in this new container. I'll show you guys what I mean. All right, so there we go. Not sure how well you can see that. So I'm gonna fill this up about a third of the way and then get this. All right, so there we go, and I layered in some extra bark mix, or some bark just on the top because the amount of soil that I had mixed up was just a little bit shy, so it just has like a little top coat of bark. Let me see if I can show you guys exactly. So that's what it looks like in the end, and that should be a lot happier in this new terracotta pot with drainage with the correct soil mix. So I'm gonna set this aside and show you what else I was able to pick up at Costco. So guys, I was so excited to find this next one. A cousin of my husband has one of these, and I've always wanted one, but I've never found one for sale. So really pumped to be caring for this Raven ZZ. Now this one is a decent size. It is on the smaller size, but you can see there's a little bit of new growth coming in, and some of the older new growth is getting nice and tall, so not so bad. I don't love this container. This plant is also in a nursery pot in this container, and I'm not sure if you can see, but I'll definitely get some footage. It's in a really peaty looking mix, or I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but this is not ideal. So again, I want to share with you guys the best type of soil mix to use for your ZZ, and let's get this guy potted up in one of these new gorgeous terracotta pots. Now, if you've seen my latest ZZ video, check it out if you haven't. You know how extremely important the soil mix is for these plants, especially when it comes to getting quality new growth on your ZZ. The root system on these plants really appreciates aeration, so a bark mix will go a long way in really making these plants happy. All right, so despite this whack soil mix that it came in, you can see that the roots are extremely fuzzy and healthy at the bottom where all of the holes were in the nursery pot. Again, that's because they need aeration. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get rid of all of this before using just simply 100% bark mix. Trust me on this one. Your ZZ is going to love it. All right, so take a look at this. Got rid of a lot of the pre-existing soil mix, and I'm just going to fill up the container halfway with the bark mix, place this guy in, put some more around, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So the bark mix that I'm using is an orchid bark mix. It includes a pretty chunky bark. There are pieces of horticultural charcoal and some perlite, and I think there may be a little bit of peat still left over from the existing soil mix, but that shouldn't be a problem at all. All right, so that one is done, looking really nice in that pot, by the way, as well. So super happy with that. If you're interested in more content like this, please give this video a thumbs up or leave a comment down below. To really show me some love, click the bell for alerts and notifications for future content. Now, this next plant I picked up, I actually had no clue what it was. Well, I knew it was a philodendron, but I didn't know exactly which variety. Anyways, after some research, I discovered that this is a philodendron Congo rojo. Now this one is in super rough condition. Some of the leaves have dropped off and are completely missing. And again, there's a lot of like weird mildew on the topsoil. It's in, again, one of these similar containers, which, you know, they're cute, but in its nursery pot and with no drainage, it really can't breathe in there. So again, time to pop this guy up and let me share with you guys the perfect soil mix for this philodendron. All right, so check out the roots on this philodendron Congo rojo. Now, to give Costco some credit, there was some perlite in this pre-existing mix, but the roots are looking, you know, they're looking not so shabby. So again, I'm going to use one of these pots and let me share with you my mix for philodendron. All right, so I use pretty much exclusively, when it comes to philodendron, 3 soil parts. So I use 1 part peat moss, to 1 part cocoa coir, and 1 part perlite. All right, this is a pretty fine perlite, and that's probably not going to be enough, so I'm going to add the same 3 parts over in the same quantities, and just until I get enough, dusty in here, until I get enough soil mix, and then I'll pop that up and show what it looks like when it's all said and done. All right, so if you're doing this at home, it should look something like this. All right, so these 3 are looking fantastic. As you can tell, I have 1 pot left, which means I picked up 1 other plant from Costco. And this one I am the most excited about because A, I don't have one of these, and B, they are kind of hard to find. So super pumped to share this next one with you. All right, so this is it. This is a shingle plant, and these things are pretty neat. They're pretty unbelievable. So these are Raphidophoras, hey, I really don't know how to pronounce it, but the shingle plant is super cute, and this is the same story. It's the wrong soil mix. There's mildew on the top. It's in a nursery pot in this thing, and I'm not, you know, I don't hate this, but I don't love it either. It's got this sort of painted brown thin piece of wood with a black elastic on it, and there is a plant on either side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can actually separate the 2 plants and get rid of this soil mix. Got my pot ready. I'm going to share with you guys the best soil mix for these plants. And yeah, let's get going. All right, so here is one of the 2. I was able to get that out pretty easily. The whole thing just basically crumbled away, and interestingly enough, this one is still in its sort of nursery plug. So this, some of the roots have come through. It's all kind of nicely bound up in this little nursery plug, and then I took off the board and the elastic, obviously, and I actually have 2 of these. So there you go. I think I might leave the plug on. I might take it off. I have to think about that for a second. But I'm going to prep up the soil mix right now and share with you guys what ingredients I use for that. All right, so for this Rafi, whichever way you prefer, tomato, I'm going to be using, or this plant rather prefers, a soil mix that has really good aeration and drainage. And out of any of the soil mixes I've done, this one has the most parts, the most ingredients to it. So definitely pay attention to this part, and let me put that together now. So, okay, so you're going to want to use 2 parts of your bark. And I just used 3 scoops, but that was basically the equivalent of 2 full scoops. You're going to, so your 2 parts bark to 1 part peat moss to 1 part cocoa coir to 1 part of that rich indoor potting mix that I used earlier. And again, if you're interested in the exact bits in this, then I'll have that in the description. To 1 part of horticultural charcoal. So again, this is the most complicated, if you will. So I'm gonna go grab a whole other round of all of that and then mix this all together and then pot up this plant. I did pick up a nice new cedar board, and I'm going to use this in this pot. And then basically, as far as I understand it, these plants can grow in around 2 or 3 feet. So this should be a really good size for it to get a little bit bigger. I may have to switch it out later. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, let me go ahead and get more soil mix and then get this whole setup going. All right, so I went ahead and filled in enough of the soil mix at the base of this container to stabilize the cedar plank. And I am going to leave this in the plug for now. It's just gonna help keep the roots nice and snug until they're ready to expand. And I'm just gonna put this guy down here and then use some elastics that I had maybe to secure this, and then fill it in, and then I'll show you what the whole finished thing looks like. All right guys, there you go. It's all ready to go, nice in its new home against this new cedar board. Now I did have these sort of like blue grocery elastics that aren't the cutest, but they're a little bit looser, which is great to fit over this wider plank. So that looks completely awesome. Those are the 4 plants I was able to pick up from Costco. And I am going to save this little guy and do a care video on this. And I think I'm going to have to repot my Raffi decursiva. If you haven't yet checked that video out, check that out. So yeah, there you go. So happy to have these new plant babies. And I'm so excited to see how this one grows up this cedar plank and share all of that with you guys in the future. Hey guys, so I did go ahead and add a last minute 2-foot bamboo stake to the fiddle leaf fig. It definitely needs it. It was a little bit wobbly. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Well, that's it for me. Oh yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. Missed you guys already. Until the next one.